So, welcome everyone to We're Offended, You're Offended, the podcast. And today we got some stuff for you. So, a couple dead bodies have been discovered on the Canada-U.S. border. And we're also going to be looking at our transportation minister and his declarations that our biggest threat to our supply chain is COVID. And also, we're going to be looking at the largest, I guess, protest from truckers, the Freedom Truckers for Freedom rally protest that's going on in Canada. How the media has painted it, and we're going to give you what's actually going on here. And as I'm sure you could notice by the oh wait, no, that's not our title. What the fuck's our title now? I forgot our fucking title. Oh right, and the big juicy of the Canadian government, which everyone was concerned about the vaccine record on your phone app thing, was actually used to spy on Canadians. But the government said, no, we're not doing that. So we're going to get into those things, plus some sidetrack and, as always, but we have a lot of information to get down your throats. We'll shove it down like Justin Trudeau's vaccine mandates. So yeah, before we get into that, of course, we are on YouTube for the time being until we get banned or until we actually get another strike. And then, we'll always be on Rumble. We're on Spotify. We're all over social media, Getter, Facebook, Twitter. We have a PayPal. We're places. Of course, let's, hit the like button. If you're on Rumble, smash the Rumble button. If you're on Spotify or any audio podcast, leave us a review. And yeah, don't forget to follow, subscribe, yada, yada. All right, Kim, let's get into this.
All right.
So from Global News, so we got 15 pages of shit to get through. Okay, so there's a lot of talking. So this was from Global News, and it says migrant deaths at the Canada-U.S. border is a warning shot to more to come. So the discovery of 4 people who perished in the cold trying to cross the Canada-U.S. border could put a new twist on the immigration debate in the United States. The group, which included an infant and a teen, were found Wednesday near Emerson, Manitoba, just meters from the Canadian side.
An infant?
Yeah.
That's gross.
No. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. Why do I just have Nord? Oh.
That is a word.
Nor is Canada. Oh. I was trying to read, like, where the fuck? Nor? Like, it felt like it was missing something. Okay. So, all right. So, nor is Canada a stranger to the problem? So, obviously, asylum seekers either crossing into Canada or leaving from Canada. Thousands of asylum seekers cross the border in Quebec each year while Trump was in office, though the numbers have dropped precipitously since then.
Where's that Kevin Hart photo I need? I should just always have that like ready to go.
So that just means like a very sharp decline. So there was a sharp decline in the number of illegal cross-border, cross-border claims into the United States, which everyone seemed to focus on the southern border. But yeah. So it's a tragedy to hear. Of course it is, especially an infant and a child. I'm sure this is a bigger problem than, is that Canadians trying to cross into the United States? Not typically. Typically, no. This is most people that, since the southern border was beefed up so much, and now it's just a free. But it's a lot of people will come from, say, like Colombia or Ecuador, Somalia. There's so many places that I guess asylum seekers or migrants have attempted that they end up flying into Canada and then coming down into the States. Or if they want to be a refugee in Canada, they'll fly into New York State and then cross into Quebec. So, yeah. All right. So I guess, well, we can look at like how big of a problem is this actually in Canada? So this is from borderreport.com, and this is a US cited website. So it is titled, so illegal crossings on the rise at Canadian border, and many are Mexicans. The number of people apprehended for illegally crossing from Canada into the United States along its northern border has nearly tripled over the past 3 years, and a growing portion are Mexican citizens, according to federal data. One Mexican man who crossed illegally to work on a Vermont dairy farm said it was easier than trying the southern border. U.S. Customs and Border Protection statistics obtained by the Associated Press after a public records request provided new detail on what was apparent anecdotally along the border from Maine to Washington. So 446 of the 1,586 illegal crossings apprehended in the 2019 year were Mexican, or 28%. And that's up. That is way up from a 3.6% just 3 years prior to. So
That surprises me. Like when I think about Mexicans crossing the border illegally, I always think going into the States. It's just weird to me that they're coming into Canada.
Well, like I said, they'll either cross into like they'll fly into Canada and then travel down to the States, or if they want to come to Canada, they'll fly into New York State and then cross into Canada. And this is where Roxham Road has become quite famous for. That's a very popular spot where literally RCMP officers just stand there and just wait for people to come and cross the border.
Oh, wow.
So from the CBC, so how thousands of asylum seekers have turned Roxham Road, into a de facto border crossing. So when CBC News visited the crossing recently, in one day we met families and single travelers from Pakistan, Turkey, Yemen, Lebanon, Nigeria, Sri Lanka, I believe it's I don't know. Okay, sure,
Arisha?
that place. Sure, I've never heard of it. It's probably a shitty country. As well as a Palestinian family from the occupied territories.
That's insane.
Some arrived. Yeah, this is all over. So normally what refugee status is supposed to be is, so let's say in Pakistan, if you cannot live there, if you are in fear of your life, of whether it's your ideology or whatever, the government would come after you, or you would be under such huge threat to life that, okay, well, you would have to find the next closest country in order to seek asylum. But to travel from Pakistan, Turkey, Yemen, Lebanon, Nigeria, Sri Lanka, and this other place I've never even heard, as well as a Palestinian family from the occupied territory. So some have arrived with what appeared to be fresh baggage tags from overseas flights into New York. Others have made their way north from Mexico, South and Central America. So some are asylum seekers seeking, I assume, refugee or asylum within Canada. But it's weird that they would cross through the United States. They would cross through Mexico, through Ecuador. And that's what I find weird, because you're supposed to go to the next country in order to, and then claim refugee status.
Yeah.
But I don't know. All right, so in 3 months this summer, authorities say 5,083 crossed at the Roxham Road. In 3 months, averaging 60 people a day. That's up from almost 4,400 over the same period the last summer. They often prearrange taxis in Plattsburgh for the half-hour ride to the border. Half-hour ride. The route has become so normalized that taxi companies are branding themselves as border shuffles. A
Shuttles?
sign on one. What did I say?
Shuffles? Every
Pretty
day
much
they're
30 minutes.
shuffling.
At 30 minutes, you pretty much could just shuffle, right? I mean, a sign on one taxi van brazenly reads refugee border. Another reads Roxham border or Lacole border and advertises a group rate, which each ride costing between 60 and 80 US is a lucrative and steady business.
Oh, for sure.
Isn't that like coming? So initially seeing that, so this was the initial article of, those families. I wasn't able to find much in terms of who these people actually are. Like it's heartbreaking to hear, like, because I think when this happened, it was in the minus 40s,
Oh, man.
and the assumption is that this was part of a larger group that ended up getting separated or couldn't keep up, and they were just left for dead. And that's, that's what traffickers do.
Oh, yeah, they
They
don't give a
got your
shit.
money. Yeah. Like if you can't keep up, okay, well then they leave you to the wolves. So it's an unfortunate situation, but okay, well if you're seeking a refugee or, trying to illegally immigrate into a place, could you not just seek asylum in Canada? Like
Think.
Trudeau is more than happy to take refugees. I think we're they've been looking at up to 1 million per year.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And again, I'm for helping refugees, people that are trying to leave a place that they are being persecuted. I have no problem with that. But 1 million people? So we obviously with COVID that we have supply problems. We have employment problems. And what does that do? So there's a housing crisis. Everyone talks about they want the government to fix it. I don't know why they want the government to fix it, but there's a housing price crisis. There's a food crisis. There's a work crisis. But we're gonna keep forcing people into a country that resources are already crumbling. It's like, yeah, it'd be like someone inviting you into their house, and it's like, hey, what would you like to have for dinner? And I don't know, you got craft dinner? Well, we don't really have, like, we don't have anything. It's like the house is like collapsing and falling apart. The windows are busted out.
Nice. Show
Like,
me where the rats are.
yeah, like, oh, okay. Like, oh yeah, you get to sleep on the floor. Just be careful of that spot because it's a little soft. So, it's leak. The floor's leak. I don't know. There's just water falling through the roof, and I'm sorry. You can sleep there. Okay, but
So are these
I
mushrooms growing out of your floor? Are they edible? Mm.
probably, I don't know. Julio, he ate them and he seems fine. And Julio's in the corner all shriveled up and
Rocking back and forth, seeing purple people.
yeah, like, it's. I have no problem trying to help asylum seekers or refugees, especially like the Afghan people that are trying to flee. Those that helped Canadian forces and coalition forces when they were in Afghanistan. Absolutely, but to pour 1 million people into a system where, like I said, jobs are leaving. Jobs are leaving Canada. Unfortunately, it makes a worse issue. Those people don't try and improve their own country. They just flee. And then, I'm not trying to sound rude, but then it kind of becomes our problem to fix. And that's where you get, people where there's enclaves in cities where they can't talk to anyone. They can't integrate. And I think that becomes a real big problem. And it becomes a strain on resources. Like if resources were unlimited, yeah, like, hey, come enjoy our bounty. Absolutely. But at some point we have to put a limitation on some things. It's just it's an unfortunate situation to see. That people that didn't find Canada good enough, and to be fair, I don't blame them. What they're looking for whether it's freedom or opportunity, or family, or maybe it is like drug runners or whatever. I don't know. But that's the issue when you have illegal border crossing. You don't know who you are. Like fuck, they ask for ID at the liquor store just to make sure you're supposed to be here. Well, if you're not, okay, well then fuck off.
I know that's crazy to me. Like they ask ID for a lot of things, but you have to show the proof of who you are. You go into I don't know. You go into an auto pack agent. Well, you have to show your ID right there. They have to make sure that you are who you say you are if you're picking something up or if you are, just want to get into something or see your claim or like whatever. Like just you have to show ID in a lot of places, but yet at the border, come on down.
Yeah. No, and it's I wanted to touch on this one briefly, but it's obviously Canada does have an immigration crisis, whether it's people from the United States, but a lot of it is third world countries, and it just seems really unusual that they would fly into the States and then cross into Canada. Well, could you not claim refugee status in the States?
I don't know.
It's just
I don't know. Didn't they when Biden took over, didn't he make a lot of that stuff a lot more difficult?
he made it easier.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because Trump had the remain in Mexico problem or problem like because the southern border was such a problem, he instituted, I believe it was called the remain in Mexico or stay in Mexico or something stay there.
Oh, okay.
Be- because a lot of what would happen, from my understanding, is so people would come into the United States, and then they at the southern border, and then they would claim asylum. Okay, well, they would end up getting sent to like a detention center, or like basically like a holding area. The big problem that for Trump, they were concentration camps, and there was people and kids in cages.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, I remember
even
that.
yeah, and Trump was saying, yeah, I remember he was saying to Joe Biden, "Who built the cages, Joe? Who built the?" Barack Obama and Joe Biden built the cages. But so, anyways, I don't want to get into that right now.
Okay.
But so they would end up being in a facility, and then they would get their court hearing to make their case of refugee status. Like, why did you not stop in Ecuador? Why not? Why couldn't you have stopped in Mexico? There's many other countries that you could go through,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to make that claim there. So, um, what this isn't all the time, but there were people that would just, okay, here's your court date, and then they would just disappear. They wouldn't come back. So, in order to help deal with that, was the Remain or Stay in Mexico initiative. Then Mexico had to deal with all of these refugees coming in, and then Mexico said, "Okay, we have to do something now because there's millions of people crossing."
Yeah.
So, then Mexico had to do something.
Well, yeah, if
So it was
Biden's made it easier then that's a little strange. You think that people would take more refugee status in the United States. It's kind of weird that they're not.
yeah. So I don't know. It's just something a little something I wanted to touch on, but
Even the
all right.
Mexicans don't want to go back to America anymore.
Apparently, well, but see, there were some that they were trying to work on a dairy farm. Is that in Vermont? A dairy farm in Vermont.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. All right. So yeah, with that, let's get into this next segment. So this was a comment, and it was so stupid, so stupid
I feel like there's a lot of
that
those on Twitter.
yeah, well, especially from government officials. Yeah, yeah. So this is from Omar Abra. The dude looks like
Algraba.
what was that kid? No, that's Aladdin.
No, it's Algebra. It is
There is
algebra.
no. That's where Aladdin took place, Kim. Here
Oh
we're
my!
talking about a person.
I'm reading his last name.
Oh, don't sound like it.
How does that not?
Algebra.
Algebra.
My name's Omar. Trigonometry.
Oh my god.
Omar Bedmass. Bedmass. Pedmass.
Oh
I don't
boy.
know what you. All right. So, anyways, so he put out a tweet, and it was the biggest threat to our supply chain is COVID. Keeping our stores stocked and warehouses full requires truckers on the road, not at home sick or in the hospital. That is why we created the vaccine mandate for truckers.
Oh, shut up. I mean, I'm sorry,
Okay.
but yeah, come on. This has been going on for 2 years now, and a lot of truckers, it had nothing to do with if there was a vaccine mandate that they would cross the border finally. No, it's they didn't want to drive because of the COVID. So a lot of those jobs were gone. And then the
Yeah.
truckers who did want to do it were going. It had nothing to do with, okay, well now you're going to put a mandate in possible or in whatever, put it out there. And then now, do you really think that that's going to save things? Do you think now more truckers are going to start crossing? No, it's going to be less now.
Well, and it's significantly less, and we're going to get into that. Like I said, I don't say something unless I have receipts. So for him to say the biggest threat is COVID, in fact, my snarky ass, I said no, it's you. So that's my fucking clip. But he says almost 90% of truckers are already vaccinated, and because of this measure, more are getting their shot. Nope. All right, so let's continue down because I ended up responding, and this Ryan O'Hagan had to chime in, some fucking idiot. Sorry, I shouldn't call them an idiot. They're uninformed. Sorry, YouTube. I don't want to cyberbully. No cyberbully. Okay, no cyberbully.
Bad boy, don't
I'm
be
just,
that.
but so they ended up sharing a post, and this was from the trucker freedom for or truckers for freedom. And he says, "Oh, look, the anti-science truckers are big mad." And I screenshotted that because we're going to get into how the media has decided to paint this. And so I was looking like, who's this Ryan O'Hagan? Obviously, they have a flag, so they're virtue signaling something. And so, yeah, of course, they're a they them advocate. They're a teacher, Kim.
No, thank
Oh,
you.
but they're a feminist, and they're part of the Alphabet Soup Brigade, and a mental health struggler. Okay.
I mean, okay, call me dumb, but how can a man be a feminist?
That is what was typically called a bitch.
A beta?
Yeah. Beta. That's what that would be.
Okay.
Oh. All right. So yeah, they're the anti-science truckers. All right. So we have this little video from Twitter, and make sure you fucking turn it down because this person is yelling like. So this was from Mary Oakes. And it is so she says Freedom Trucker Convoy making its way through Abbotsford, BC, on its way to Ottawa to protest mandates. Mandates.
Yeah, are you hearing
And
that,
this
people? Not the vaccine. Mandates.
Yeah, and that's what this is what this has been about. It's been about the forcing of things. So you're seeing, oh, look at all these anti-science dumb truckers. Look at all these knuckle draggers. Look at them. Look at all the cars. Look at all those people that are on the shoulder. Look at them waving flags. Oh, but they're all anti-science. They're all dumb. Look at all those.
Oh, 100%.
Idiots.
They're all conspiracy theorists and ugh.
Oh, they probably beat up women. That's what they probably don't believe in science. I bet they're all racists. That's it. They're a bunch of racists. They're anti-science and they love beating women. That's what these guys are. these people. I shouldn't say guys because there are women truckers too. But yeah,
Oh, there's a
that's what
fire
this
truck
is.
in that one too.
Now, to be fair, he was probably caught in it trying to save a life. Look at how smoky it is.
Right.
It's not smoke, it's fog.
So my
Yeah,
God, you
they're-
stupid guys, get out of my way.
Yeah. So it's
My God, this girl's annoying though. Ugh.
I turned it off because she's just a screaming.
Right?
I
Like I
yeah.
can't even make a comment about, that should be for the bedroom because I'm just gonna say nobody should be screaming like that ever. I don't understand why
No.
girls always gotta scream. Why?
But all right, so that makes the point. Okay, but so those are all a bunch of dumb anti-science truckers. They don't know, they're too stupid. Okay, so I started looking into the trucking industry. So this was from Canadian Visa, and this is oddly enough a way to get immigration status into Canada. So truck drivers even more in demand, and this is in 2020. So at the start of the pandemic, we've been in a trucker shortage for years. It's always been, the demand has always outpaced the supply. So according to reports by Trucking HR, Canada will have a shortage of 25,000 truck drivers by 2023. 61% of trucking jobs in Canada reportedly went unfilled in 2019, and it is expected to increase by 25%.
Ugh.
That's massive.
Yeah.
And then it says here, Canada plans to welcome 1 million newcomers by 2022. So okay, so maybe initially I got that number wrong. I think maybe it's about 250,000 new immigrants per year. So I'll correct that now. So despite the restrictions caused by COVID-19, the Canadian government continues to accept and process visa applications to help close the gap in the Canadian market. What gap? Okay, so then I looked at, okay, well, how many truck drivers, what does the trucking industry do? So in 2019, 134,000 for-hire trucking companies were active in Canada. 134,000 companies. These companies generated nearly 68 billion in operating revenue from trucking and related services. This is from Global News. Canadian trucking industry grapples with driver shortages. Weird. This was back in November of 2021. So this is a national issue. So,
But let's throw in some mandates, guys. Come on.
yeah. Make
it easier.
This is what I find interesting. So it's a supply chain issue that will impact every single Canadian as the trucking industry grapples with a major shortage of truck drivers spanning the entire country. This is a national issue and potentially becoming a national crisis. Stephanie Lack, fuck you, because she ended up doubling back on what she said. I just seen something published today that she said that they do not support the truckers that are protesting the vaccine mandates and saying that they need to basically that they need to comply and they don't support the protest. That's what I find really weird. But it's becoming a national crisis, and it's okay. Well, guys and girls, just shut up and do your job.
Isn't that how
Just
it is everywhere?
Pretty much. All right, so about 18,000 truck driver jobs will need to be filled in Canada by March of 2022. Well, we just made that issue a lot worse. According to the latest report and statistics gathered by Trucking HR Canada. That number, however, is expected to balloon to 55,000 from Stefan, who says the federal government needs to do more to attract new talent to an industry that is the oldest workforce in Canada. They need to do more.
5,000. Holy shit.
Yeah, but they need to do more. So they need to, force, old timers out of the seat. Don't try and improve any of the laws and regulations where, drivers are actually allowed to make money. But, all right, sure. So the ongoing pandemic has exacerbated retirement and voluntary turnover within the industry, coupled with a desire for a good work-life balance, is leading to shortages. and the applications employers are receiving are lacking the required levels of training and experience to be able to start work immediately. In other words, the schools aren't doing enough, and the no company, even my company, you need 1 year at least to start. So no company outside of some fly-by-night shit company is going to really pull you on.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, to answer the question from Omar Algebra, the biggest threat to our supply chain is COVID. So I was looking up what kills truckers the most.
Was it
The
COVID?
average, surprisingly, no.
Gasp.
Yeah. So the average life expectancy, the average age is 61.
Oh my God, that's so young.
61. The life expectancy of humans in North America, they show on this graph, is about 72. While, yeah. But I believe in North America, it's 79. So the leading causes of death: heart disease, lung cancer, diabetes, and transport-related accidents. Those are the top reasons why guys actually die. It's heart disease.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That bothers me. That's too young.
61, yeah.
But you're not allowed to go anywhere. Just saying. So don't even fucking think about it. Keep your heart in
I make
check,
no
man.
problems.
No, shut up. You have no choice.
All right, well, so let's look at this crap from CBC. So how they titled it: dozens of Manitoba truckers parade vehicles to protest federal vaccine mandates. Dozens, Kim.
Dozens?
Maybe
That's it?
24, maybe 36 trucks. That's weird.
Okay.
So dozens of Manitoba truckers are parading their vehicles up and down Highway 75 near the international border to protest vaccine mandates, particularly those impacting their jobs.
Oh, no shit.
As of January 15th, new federal rule mandate, blah, 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 blah. So this is from Rick Walls. We need to end all these totalitarian mandates that our government has imposed on us for the last 2 years, said Rick Walls, who organized the event. This is put on by truckers, but we are calling to end the mandates for every single human being in this country, not just for us.
High five, Rick Wall.
But hold on. But fuckeroni here said they're anti-science and they're big mad. Sounds like you're big dumb.
Well, listen, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. I mean, in all honesty, look at the words he was using. They're big mad. Oh, wow. Go back to school. Oh, right. You're a teacher. My bad.
You're a teacher. Yeah. So, so under the new rules, yeah, obviously, unvaccinated truckers returning from the U.S. have to head home for nearly 2 weeks before making another run. You also need to show proof of vaccination, which we've never done before. But okay, that doesn't pay the bill, said Wall, president of a trucking firm based in Winkler. Weird that they put this: a region with some of the lowest vaccination rates in the province. I believe it's actually minorities with the lowest vaccination. Okay. We're talking 20 plus drivers and a lot of office staff's livelihoods that are on the line just for our company alone. And then the parade was started at 3 a.m. and Wall said the intention is to go for the entire day. So they were actually looking at, I believe, into if they could get enough trucks, they wanted to extend it into Tuesday. But remember, this is just a couple trucks, just a couple dozen. Yeah, not just a couple dozen.
Well, it's a couple dozen. What's the big deal? Apparently, just a little FYI here. There's actually supposed to be a Freedom Convoy support rally that's going on January 25th, which is Tuesday, and they're leaving the Flying J in Headingley at approximately 3:30 p.m.
The initial video that I showed with that lady just fucking howling.
Yeah.
That's the convoy that's going to Ottawa.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, I'm just letting you know that
um,
there's one uh, that's going to be in Winnipeg, Manitoba, or going or whatever in Manitoba on Tuesday.
okay. So, all right. So from Steinbach Online. So, and this is titled, so truckers protest Emerson reportedly several kilometers long. Let me fix that. So early reports indicate the circle of slow-moving trucks and vehicles involved in the protest is several kilometers long, but it was dozens. And this is only on the Canadian side. The U.S. side was doing the same thing. And again, they talk about the federal vaccine mandate. According to a number of reports, organizers plan to keep the protest going all day Monday and even extend it into Tuesday if they can get enough trucks involved. All right, you can look at real agriculture. Truckers and supporters protest vaccine mandate at the busiest Manitoba-U.S. border crossing. Okay, here's another one. Hundreds gather at BC legislature against pandemic restrictions. And I believe this guy, yeah, he's a construction business owner. I know and I speak on behalf of the construction industry and trades workers, and I don't know a single one who is behind these mandates. Construction workers are behind the truckers. We are going to stop this country until it is ours again, and we are all free. They're not saying that's the thing. They're not fighting against, like, well, you have to have it, but you don't. No, they're saying we're against the mandate. They're mandates.
Yeah, but
This
then
isn't.
you look.
This wasn't argued. This wasn't nothing.
But yeah, you look at places like Australia, which is honestly, it's like here already. But anyway, but you look at the guy in Australia where he had literally said, if you're against the mandates, then you're considered anti-vax, which makes
Yeah.
absolutely no sense because nobody is contesting the vaccine. Nobody is saying no anti-vax and stuff like that. A lot of these people do have the vaccine. They're just against the
Yeah.
actual mandates. And I don't know, dudes. Like people, you got to just realize this. Like it's because you're against a mandate doesn't mean that you're an anti-vaxxer. Like listen to the
Well,
words.
yeah. Yeah. So this is from my Prince George now, which is north of Kamloops in BC, and this is from Pamela Rose. Ruse. I'm going to go with Ruse, who's a member of the convoy, and she says, "I am a Canadian citizen. That's what I know. This isn't about a vaccine. Weird, anti-science, big dumb, right? This isn't about whether you have one or if I have one. It's about a vax mandate, and it's causing segregation and division. The only thing I had to hear on the news one day with my sons, knowing they would hear it, was some prime minister who's supposed to be running this country call me a misogynist, a woman, and every other woman behind me that's supporting their family, called extremists, which is every man, woman, and child, because now it's not just affecting me, it's affecting men, women, children. We stand for Canada Free." Okay.
Yes.
All right, so here, global news. All right, Canadians may see less food in grocery stores, but experts say no need to panic.
Oh
No,
no. Hmm.
no, the shelves are empty. No, don't worry. Don't worry. The stuff is coming. It's going to be there. I don't know when, but don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. All right, so this is a bit of a long one, but I think it's important. I think this one's really important. So Canadians will likely experience shortages of some food items and increased prices as the Omnicorp variant snags supply chains and a vaccine mandate takes effect for cross-border truckers, according to industry experts. Okay, so already we're taking it. Don't worry. Yeah, things will cost more, but your job. Oh fuck, that's right. We held you out of your job for a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't worry about the price. Just buy it. Like, obviously, like I don't know. I don't know why that's so hard. Just take out your wallet and swipe your credit card.
Well, yeah, you obviously need food for you and your family to survive. So why are we complaining about this? Like, just buy it.
Yeah, just buy it. Use your credit card. Oh, your credit card's maxed out because we locked you out of your job for over a year.
Get another one.
Oh well, yeah. But you can only have that job if you're fully vaccinated and you show that you have proof of vaccination. Oh, you can't do that. Oh well, I'm sure a mission will. Oh wait, we shut down churches to feed the homeless or the needy. Okay, well, we'll take the Noam Chomsky method. That's not our problem. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
We'll just do that. Yeah. Like just that's not my problem. That's your problem.
Right?
Fucking Noam Chomsky. Ugh. All right. So increased prices as the Omnicorp variant snags supply chains and a vaccine mandate. Blah blah blah. However, they say that Canadians should not worry about food availability and that no one needs to panic buy. Okay. There is food on the grocery shelves, said Michael Wazilishin, spokesperson for the Retail Council of Canada, which represents big box grocery stores in the country. Which big box? Do you mean like Sobeys, Safeway, Superstore, Costco? You mean like those big box stores, the ones that were allowed to stay open, not the small independents, right? That were forced to shut down. Oh, that's Michelle. Oh, I said Michael. I don't know whatever. Okay, all right. Oh, okay. So she said though that there could be shortages of certain products. So look at this, such as soups. Don't panic buy. Cereals. Don't panic buy. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Don't panic buy. And meats. So then what the fuck can I buy?
Right. Fake food, I guess.
Yeah, you could just buy what all that shit that we ship up to native reserves. You know, like the chips, the pop, the craft dinners, and you like ramen? You like ramen noodles, right?
Yeah,
Well,
let's do that
yeah,
shit. Year supply.
but no. Oh, but that's a soup. So,
Ah, fuck.
you want some Captain? Oh, what about fruits and veg?
No.
You want some canned shit? You want some dog food? Well, you
Well,
can buy dog food.
well, maybe. I guess as long as it doesn't have a lot of meat in it and it's just processed shit and shoes. I mean, you can maybe they'll have a lot of like, vegetarian products. Like the
I
fake meats, I'm sure if you close your eyes, it'll taste just like a big juicy steak.
Did you see that photo of it was all like it was all the tofu stuff was all there, but then everything else around it was gone, and I think the caption was we're not tofu screwed or something like that yet. We're not tofu starving yet. It was something like that.
Okay.
Just but yeah, no, that's such as soups, like canned goods that you can hold and store, which I think didn't I thought I brought this up, like, hey, when you go shop, like I was saying this like to you was, hey, when you go shopping, just grab a couple extra canned stuff.
Yeah. A
Don't have to
couple.
go
Don't go
crazy,
crazy. Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, okay, so tracker vaccine mandate impact. Okay, but just increase prices. Another hit likely to impact supply is the COVID-19 vaccine mandate for truckers on both sides of the border. All right, so we already talked about it. January 15th for Canada, January 22nd for the US. How great an impact the mandates will have on grocery stores is yet to be seen. But Dalhousie University food distribution professor Sylvain Charlebois said on the Roy Green show that Canada imports $21 billion worth of food from the US every year. And 70% of that comes across the border on wheels. 70% of your food is coming from the States.
Yeah, sure is.
Or should I say 70% of food, or 70% of that 21 billion is food that comes across the border. So this is where I found it really interesting. So the Canadian Trucking Alliance estimates as many as 32,000 Canadian and American cross-border truck drivers may be taken off the road due to the mandates. This is the same Canadian Trucking Alliance that said, we do not support the protests. The same alliance that's supposed to represent the transportation industry, then we're not interested in protesting it. Just shut the fuck up and do your job, monkey.
Yep.
So that represents 20% of the 160,000 truckers total, and is in addition to nearly 23,000 drivers the industry was short before the mandates, according to StatsCan and Trucking HR Canada. It's hard to believe there won't be any disturbances, Charlebois said. Trucking executive Dan Einwecker of Challenger Motor Freight in Cambridge, Ontario, has already sounded the alarm on the mandate, telling Reuters that consumers will see that there's not as many choices on the shelves within 2 weeks. However, Gary Sands, Senior Vice President at the Canadian Federation of Independent Grocers, which represents about 6,900 businesses across Canada, said some statements from truckers has been alarmist and are overstating the case. Okay. When you walk into grocery stores, you might see certain areas are bare, where the product has not yet arrived, but it's coming. It's coming, Kim. Oh, you want soups? Don't worry, it's coming. You want meat? It's coming. You want vegetables, fruits, things for a healthy diet? It's not here today. Well, when's it gonna come? I don't know.
No, just don't worry. It's coming. I mean, okay, so you got to think. If we hire some new drivers now, do the training, you should get it in about a month. So just hold on.
Yeah.
Just wait. It's coming.
Yeah, and it takes about a week to, say in Manitoba, a lot of our stuff during the winter comes from the southern states, comes from California, comes from Texas, comes from Georgia. We still have BC still produces a lot, but if BC doesn't produce everything, they can't. BC and on Ontario. Okay. All right. So anyways, so he did say there have been product delays, shortages, and some products not arriving at all. Don't worry, they're coming, Kim. They're coming. Although they're not really coming. We're just saying they're coming.
I'll make sure not to hold my breath.
And warns that supply shortages are more acutely felt in smaller communities.
No, what? Isn't that always how it is? I mean,
yeah, the city. So okay, so this is my thought. It sounds like they're trying to force people out of remote communities and push them into cities.
oh my God. Sorry. Whoa.
Whoa.
I really wish.
Ooh.
Oh God. She could phone a friend right now. Like it just.
What?
You said that, and there was a coworker of mine that used to talk about this before COVID even hit, dude. Like I've talked about this before about how people used to say a lot of things and you kind of like, oh, okay, a conspiracy theorist, whatever. It was interesting to hear. But as COVID hit and has been going through, I've literally been seeing things that she has been talking about come to fruition. Now, this whole thing too, this was another thing that she had said was that they want everybody out of the rural areas and into the city so they're easier to be monitored. Now, again, this is just theories or whatever, but this is something that she had talked about, and you just saying that right now, literally, I just went, mind blown. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. See, and okay, so I don't think that's actually it. But of course, it's the smaller communities are going to be hit because the cities are just drains on resources. Like there's so many people that have to be fed. Obviously, well, they're going to get theirs first, and then oh well, we don't have enough for the other communities, especially reservations. Oh
Yeah.
well, we'll take the Noam, like I said, the Noam Chomsky method of it's not our problem. They deal with it. Well, what? Okay, so it's really interesting for them to say that. Really interesting that soups, cereals, fresh fruits and vegetables and meats.
Yeah, a lot of pretty much a huge bunch of your staples. But they're I guess there'll be bread. You have a lot of bread, right?
Uh, as long as there's still flour. Okay, so from Bloomberg, Canada faces empty shelves as trucking snarls hit food supplies. Lack of action on supply chain will make empty shelves the norm. Truck driver vaccine mandate causes food shortages and empty shelves at grocery stores. I'm just Google searching. I just typed in Canada empty shelves 2022.
My God, I'm literally going through the show map going, where the hell are you?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking. Like there's photos all over Facebook, on Twitter. People are showing like, hey, it's weird that the mouthpieces of the government are saying, don't worry about it. Don't no. It's only 2 weeks. You don't have to panic buy. It's only 2 weeks. 2 years.
It'll be
It's
fine.
it's 2 years, but really it's only 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then two
Oh, look,
weeks.
there's a problem over there. Just don't look at it. It's all good. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a dead body. Nope, don't look at it. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, no food on the
So
shelves. Don't look at it. It's okay.
So I'm sending this to you. So this is from CTV News, where the Canadian Trucking Alliance and the same person, the same lady said about the issues that we're going to have with the transportation industry because of vaccine mandates. The Canadian Trucking Alliance does not support and strongly disapproves of any protest on public roadways, highways, and bridges. CTA believes such actions, especially those that interfere with public safety, are not how disagreements with government policies should be expressed. Hmm. The government of Canada and the United States have now made being vaccinated a requirement to cross the border. This regulation is not changing, so as an industry, we must adapt and comply with this mandate, said Stefan Laskowski. The only way to cross the border in a commercial truck or any other vehicle is to get vaccinated. It's weird because on here, so before I forget this point, before we move on to the next segment, so remember a couple dozen trucks. Oh, it's a big nothing burger. So the GoFundMe for the Truckers for Freedom raised $2.3 million in less than a week.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
All from a
that's to
few
pay
dozen?
few dozen trucks. Yep. Yeah. So remember, it's a big nothing burger.
Wow, they got some money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's all to pay for trucks, for breakdowns, yeah, for fuel.
Wow.
So yeah, but yeah, no, just shut up and comply. Comply, slave. Well, you can't comply your way out of tyranny. You just can't.
Well,
So
I'm glad to see that there are still some people in Canada who are trying to fight for Canada to get their freedoms back and not just
yeah,
being passive and bending over.
yeah, it's absolutely crazy to see. It's this like so we talk a lot about like gaslighting. Like you see what's happening. I don't think people are stupid. I, in general, I don't
Well,
think people are stupid. But especially someone that's shopping at a grocery store. the grocery, not grocery, grocery
Yeah, that was
store.
weird.
Yeah, and they noticed like, hey, my $100 or $200 or $300 for my groceries for 2 weeks isn't cutting it. Like people can see that. You can see that gas has cost you a lot
Ugh.
more.
Right?
Yeah,
Like, I can't even. Like, I know I've mentioned before a few times on other podcasts, but, like, we're literally talking double the amount for
y-
groceries, and I'm not getting anything more. And it's, I wanna say 30% more for gas right now, and I'm not traveling anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm spending so much money on gas and food right now. It's insane. Like, it literally makes it super hard for, well, anybody. But, if you don't live in the city, well, going back and forth into work to the city, like, it's an honest concern that how am I gonna get back and forth to work
yeah,
and put food on
yeah,
the table for my family? Like,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Oh, but you'll see some. Yeah, there'll be some increases, but just deal with it. Just
Yeah.
don't. You just can't buy anything. Everything has to be. You'll figure it out. All right. So let's get into the Canadian government spying on its own citizens.
What do you say?
So this is from a LifeSite News. So Canadian government used cell phone towers to spy on more than 33 million citizens during COVID. The
Holy
Public
crap.
Health Agency, yeah, I think it was like something like 83 or 87% of Canadians were spied on. Public Health Agency of Canada claimed the tracking was done to understand the public's responsiveness during lockdown measures. In other words, how good did you listen to the government? Did you do what the government told you to do, or did you tell them to go suck a dick?
Suck a
I,
big black D.
yeah, so Canada's federal government admitted it covertly tracked the cell phones of 33 million Canadians throughout the COVID crisis, using cell tower data to determine population movement patterns.
Mm.
Everyone's so concerned about, the vaccines. Oh, they put a microchip in you. I don't, come on. You have a tracking device in your fucking pocket. That's your
Right?
trade off. Some total knowledge of the world, and you give up your privacy. It's just how it works.
Oh, right? It's so funny. Exactly that. "Oh, there's microchips in here. They're tracking us." Dude, they can literally follow and listen to your every move whenever they want.
Yeah. So, according to a report from BlackRock's reporter, a secret tracking program initiated by the Canadian federal government of Liberal Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that ran for months was disclosed this Monday. The Public Health Agency claimed the tracking was done to understand the. Sorry, that was the stinger. According to Mark Johnson, a spokesman for the Public Health Agency, the urgency of the pandemic justified the agency to collect and use mobility data such as a tower location data throughout the COVID-19 response. So this is the thing. Justin Trudeau at the very start said, this is our opportunity to change things in Canada. Well, he banned a whole bunch of guns. He didn't make a response to COVID. It was banning guns. Because typically after a pandemic, there's some type of civil unrest. So, he was just preempting it under the guise of safety, saving everyone. I need to save everyone. I didn't know that was the government's job. It was to help understand possible links between the movement of populations with Canada and COVID. Claimed Johnson, who also said the program has been made public to be open and transparent. But they hid it for almost 2 years.
Well, now they're transparent though. I mean, they
Um,
weren't then, but now they are.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, we totally spied on you, but it's for your own good. As reported by BlackRock reporter Johnson, said the cost of the program was not made public, but the agency's analysis and findings from the mobility data have been regularly shared with provinces and territories. Surveillance was done throughout the pandemic to analyze population movement data to better understand the public's responsiveness. Okay, yeah. Indeed, the Government of Canada currently has a federal contract notice to tender out, which indicates the Public Health Authority wants to permanently use. They want to use this permanently to use cell tower tracking for up to the next 5 years. So this is where, in our Canadian Constitution, where, it says like your rights are subject to change without notice. They can violate your rights for up to 5 years. And they're fully within the law to do it. Oh, you like your freedom of religion? Oh, well, we're going to violate it. And if you don't like it, wait 5 years.
Yeah, then maybe it'll change.
Yeah, the operator-based location data and services for public health mobility analysis request for proposal has a closing date of January 21st, 2022. Oh, so they finally disclosed it. Isn't that weird? They find at the supposed end of it. The summary of the request for proposal. So we have this very, very long letter, but we're going to read it because I think this is important. This is creepy.
Yeah.
This is literally the government spying on you. All right, so the Public Health Agency of Canada requires access to cell tower and operator location data that is secure, processed, and timely, in addition to being adequately vetted for security, legal privacy and transparency considerations to assist in the response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and for other public health applications. Aggregated indicators derived from cell tower operator location data provide insightful information and allow for a meaningful analysis on the mobility or movement of populations in Canada. These analyses and findings provide situational awareness and help inform policy, public health messaging, evaluation of public health measures, and other aspects related to public health response programming, planning, and preparedness. So they could look at where you are and say, well, why are there so many people here? Well, that's not right. We told everyone to sit in their homes and shut the fuck up. Why are you out and about? Listen here, Kim. Why are you outside? We told you to stay home.
Because I need air.
Well, not tough shit. Sit in your pod and eat the bugs, all right? That's what we want.
I don't want to eat the bugs.
The request for proposal notice says that there are two types of location data: crowdsourced, i.e., mobile apps on Android and iOS devices, and mobile cell tower operator data. Public Health Agency requires continued access to mobile operator-based data as it provides the largest, most stable, and representative sample of the Canadian population. In addition to this, Public Health Agency requires cell tower operator data that is ready for analysis. This includes ensuring controls are in place to adequately address ethical, privacy, and transparency consideration. As the COVID-19 pandemic unfolds in Canada and the world, analysis of location data continues to be an important part of the federal response. Beyond the pandemic, mobility data will play an important role in understanding the population movement impact on other public health challenges. This data, when combined with other data sources for analysis, can generate important blah, blah, blah. According to Johnson, Public Health Agency will use the mobility data to describe and analyze population level trends. Johnson claims that the data is not used to track or monitor individuals, and that contractors must clean and process the data they collect. Okay, sure. Based on the agency's COVID-19 experience and learnings from other countries. Oh, you mean like the States? It aims to establish a long-term supply of cell tower mobility data to help advance initiatives related to public health challenges, including other infectious diseases. Earlier this year, Jay Cameron, litigation manager for the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, told LifeSite News that cell phone tracking done involuntarily is a flagrant violation of one's constitutional rights. Warrantless government monitoring of citizens' cell phones, including location and data tracking, is a flagrant infringement on privacy rights, illegal and unconstitutional. Well, they don't care.
Well, no, because they can change that for 5 years, right?
Yeah. Over the past year and a half, there were hints that the government in Canada were using or planning to use people's cell phone data to determine travel patterns, all done supposedly in the name of fighting COVID. Indeed, just a few weeks into the COVID crisis in Canada, reports surfaced that the federal government was looking into using Canadian cell phone location data to track their movement. In January 2021, Premier Doug Ford said that the cell phone data his government is privy to indicated that many in his province were not following COVID quarantine restrictions. And this raised many questions as to how the cell data was obtained.
That's creepy.
Isn't that weird? Oh, it's a violation of privacy rights. Well, we've seen over and over again that rights mean nothing to the government. Illegal? Take it up with the courts. We'll see how unconstitutional it is because we don't care. Because they can fully violate it without recourse. You don't like it? Oh, I'll deal with it in 5 years. Very, very progressive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Then we have from the Western Standard Online. Yeah. So the federal government spied on Canadians. This is another great article that goes a little bit more into it. But by all means, please look at these. All right. Is that it? Holy shit! We made it through everything. So yeah, that's just, it's crazy to see, like, the division of the narrative. The dozens of truckers. Well, weird. Dozens of truckers suddenly raised $2.3 million, but it's only a dozen.
Only, yeah, just a couple few. That's all. I
And
like how they just downplay. You know what I mean? Like a couple dozen. I don't
well,
know. The videos I'm seeing, there's definitely more than a couple dozen.
well, and just the idea of, yeah, no, everything's fine. Like it's the meme of the dog sitting in the chair and the house is on fire around him. Yeah, everything's fine. Like, no, 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 no. Our shit's we don't have food. So I would encourage everyone, when you go to the store, buy an extra couple things of food. Buy some beans. Buy like an extra thing of rice. Maybe not too much rice because then you get mercury, or is it arsenic? Arsenic poisoning.
Yeah.
Well, potentially. I don't know. That's just what I heard. Okay, that's what I heard. Look it up for yourself. I'm not fucking.
We're not
But
scientists or doctors. I mean,
no, I'm just some idiot that yells. But it's, yeah, go and go and buy some extra canned goods. You don't have to clear out the whole shelf. Buy 4 or 5 extra cans every time you go shopping. It's going to cost you more, but just go and buy it. It's like that's what the government tells you to do. Just shut up and buy it. Everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know.
No need.
I don't.
No need to get extra. It's okay. But
No, and then
no, I was just gonna say yes. Get some extra. Definitely don't go crazy and think of your neighbors like and other people who need some food. But just a little bit extra.
yeah, like I know when COVID first started, like the first thing I told Kim was, go and buy like an extra couple things of water, and we'll just leave them in the basement. Buy a couple extra cans things, and we'll leave them in the basement. In the event that something like this, just buy a couple extra cans. Nothing crazy,
Yeah.
but But when the government, is saying, "Oh, everything's just going up," and I'll just deal with it.
Yep.
It's but, whew. um, yeah. All right, let's actually, I'm gonna leave a bit of a stinger. Actually, I would like people's opinions on this. Actually, how much have you noticed the prices of food going, and how much is that impacting your ability to purchase the food that you need? I'd love to see that. Or did you think the government was spying on you, and is this just kind of confirmation that the government do be creepy? Because I think that they kind of do be creepy.
Well, 100% they do be creepy on in so many levels, and the fact that I don't know, just the more and more and more that's happening, it's yeah, creepy. Uh-huh.
Did you see there was a thing in the States that I believe it was FBI agents ended up getting fired because they were spying on people's text messages, when they're having sexy time over texting.
No, I
And
didn't.
you might send a couple naughty pictures.
Ooh.
I believe it was FBI agents were caught beating it. They were tubing it. They were lubing,
God.
tubing to people's private messages.
Well, I mean, I feel like those people should get compensated in some sort of way, like throw them a couple bucks or something. I mean, they're giving them freaking entertainment.
Isn't that like? But this is all in the name of public safety, monitoring
Yeah.
your text messages, and all. Like, I would say, everyone assume you're being watched because that's what they're doing. Assume whatever you're messaging. Assume that someone else is reading. Actually, one way that I heard it described. Assume that whatever you're writing is going to be put before a judge. Think of it like that. But I would love to hear people's responses. But yeah, just I don't know. You got anything else to say, or
No, I like I said, I just think all this stuff is really disturbing. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
of course they're only gonna say that there was a couple dozen because why are they gonna want to report on something that is literally going against the narrative that everybody's trying to spin? Why are they gonna report that hundreds or thousands of truck drivers are, you know, protesting these mandates and stuff like that? They're not going to. They don't wanna push it because they don't want people to know about it, really.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah.
it
No,
makes perfect sense.
see, but this is like that the gaslighting. Deny your own reality. What you see, what you feel. No, no, no. Just ignore that. Let me tell you what to think. Like and of course, like we post everything that we source, everything that we use. Of course, it'll always be in the description. Um, look at it yourself. Find other information. I don't want to tell people what to think. I'm just. I think I brought it up before. I'm just trying to paint a picture. And I do it terribly, but I try. But
We're just
it's
trying to let everybody know what is going on, and I mean, ultimately, your decisions and your choices and your what you may think and feel is on you. Like you make
well,
those choices, so
and ultimately that what you're feeling and what you're concerned about, you are not alone.
correct.
The government did a great job of turning neighbor on neighbor. They did a very good job of saying, "Well, we didn't mess this up. It was your fault. You did this."
Yeah, and they still are.
Yeah. And so, I don't think anyone should be turning on their neighbor. Hold the people accountable that forced these decisions that weren't voted on. They were forced through. I'm not okay with, I think I ended up making the point of, actually, I think I said it to Omar Algebra, was something to the effect of, If you're forcing something onto someone, especially like say like during sexy time, and when they say no, at that point it becomes rape,
Yep.
right?
That's a true
Like
story. Yeah.
so. All right. So yeah. Again, hit the like button if you're on YouTube, on Rumble. Hit the smash button.
Smash
On
it.
on Spotify, of course. Leave us a rating. Share us with your friends, your family, people you like, people you hate. I shit. We do have some really cool things that we're working on that are going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're working through some stuff. We're trying to, make it make it look better. So audio listeners, yeah, well, but we're gonna be looking into some things, and we have some things that we're super excited. We're gonna be making a video about it, and it's gonna be. I'm excited. I know Kim's super excited about it,
Oh yeah.
and so yeah, I will leave you with that. All right, with that, let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. And we hope that you have a great week and a great Monday. Um, like he said, we upload 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you don't see us here on YouTube, or if that's is where you're looking at us, um, Rumble and everywhere else, all the social medias we're at. So come check us out. Come hang out with us on Discord. You want to just, shoot the shit, play some games, whatever. Yeah. So can't wait to see you guys on Hump Day and have a fantastic Monday, guys. Okay. Bye.